Welcome to the online registration tutorial for the Issaquah School District. This video will cover the EVP, BTSCI, and RSVP processes that all families need to complete in Family Access during the month of August in preparation for the upcoming school year. Please remember that if your student has more than one family, only the primary family or Family 1 can complete this process. The first step is to sign into your Family Access account. If you do not remember your login ID or password, please click on the Forgot Your Login Password link to reset your password. If you still do not have access, it could be because your student is not currently active in Skyward. Please contact your student school for assistance. On the home page, you will see that the online registration process is now open. At the elementary level, it is called Enrollment Verification Process. At the middle school level, it is called Back to School Check-in. And at the high school level, it is called Registration Student Verification Process. If you have more than one student, you will need to complete this process for each of your students. For this video, we will be going through the process of an elementary school student. Each school may be slightly different, so we will be covering the different types of pages you will encounter during this process. Click on the link to begin the process. The first page of the online registration process is the district message. Once you have finished reading this, click on the Next button. The first step is confirming enrollment. Please read the instructions carefully and then select yes or no as to whether or not your student will be attending the school listed at the top of the screen for the upcoming school year. Then click on the button at the bottom of the page that says Complete Step 1 and move to Step 2 to save your progress. If you click the Next button on the right side of the screen, the information entered onto this screen will not be saved. The next step is verifying the phone numbers for Family 1. If you have had any changes to your phone numbers, you can make those changes here. The primary phone number will be the first number contacted for this family, and it is required that all families have a primary phone number. When you are finished making changes, click on Complete Step 2A and move to Step 3 to continue the process. A new step this year is a survey to reselect your student's ethnicity and race. This is a one-time collection of data to make sure that the information that we have matches the information that the state is currently looking for. There is a letter that will explain the reasons why we are asking you to resubmit this data, so please make sure to read it thoroughly. When you have finished, click Continue. On this step, we will select both the ethnicity and race for your student. To start, click on Select an Ethnicity. Scroll through the options and select any options that apply to your student. When you are finished, click Save. Next, click on Select a Race. Scroll through the list to find the race codes that best matches your student. You can pick as many codes as you would like to be as specific as you would like to be. Each race group, such as Asian, has a write-in option that you can select if you do not see a subgroup that matches your student's racial identity. When you have finished, click Save. You can review your selections and click one of the options to change the ethnicity or race if you need to, or you can continue with the process by clicking on Complete Step 3 and move to Step 4. Now we will move on to the required annual forms. Since we now have all these forms electronically, you will not need to print these forms out and bring them into the school. Please note that these forms cannot be filled out through the Skyward app, but they can be filled out on a mobile device by logging into Family Access through a browser. To fill out these forms, first click on the button at the top of the form that says View Full Screen to get a better look. To help expedite this process for families, we have pulled in demographic information from Skyward into these forms already, but you do have the option to edit these fields if needed. All fields in blue, such as the student's name, date of birth, and grade, cannot be edited as that information needs to match what we have in Skyward. Fill out the information on these forms, making sure to enter data into any fields that an asterisk is next to, as those steps are required. Any demographic information, parent information, and emergency contact information will be pulled into these forms from Skyward, but you can change that information if necessary. If your student has a second family, you can enter them as an emergency contact on these forms since their information is not on these forms otherwise. Then type your name into the signature field and enter the current date. If you would like to download a copy of this form for your own records, you can do so by clicking the Print button. When you have finished the form, click the button at the top of the page to complete this step and move on. This will automatically submit this form for your student. There are some steps that are optional, but you still need to click on the link to complete them. One example is the Pay Online step. Since the Complete button is grayed out, you must first click on the link. Once the link is open, sign in following the directions on the screen to see if your student has any fines or fees and pay them here. If there are no fines or fees, or if you would prefer to pay them in person at the school, you can close this window. Once the link has been opened, you can complete this step. This applies to a few other steps in the process, so remember that once you click on the link, you can continue with the process. Once you have completed all the steps for your school, verify that each step says completed with a date and time. If you missed a step, you can go directly to it using the links on the right side of the screen. Once all the steps have been completed, the button at the bottom of the screen will be activated to submit the process. Click on it to finish the process. If you need to make any changes after you submit, you are able to go in at a later time and edit the information by clicking on Mark the process as not completed and make changes. Make sure that you submit once again after the changes have been made. Thank you for watching this online registration tutorial. If you have any further questions, please contact your student school for assistance.